Deep in the heart of the Peruvian Paracas desert, at the edge of the world, where the scorching sun mercilessly withers all life and the sand whispers ancient secrets, rest the remains of one of the world's most enigmatic archaeological finds, the Paracas skulls. These unusual skulls, with their elongated shape, sparked both debate and wonder, prompting contemplation on the boundaries of human capability, the diversity of ancient civilizations, and what lies hidden within the depths of a history we may not yet fully understand. The world first learned of the Paracas skulls through the Peruvian archaeologist Julio Tello. In 1928, during excavations on the Paracas Peninsula, he unearthed a burial ground containing hundreds of ancient skulls. These were the remains of people who lived there about 3,000 years ago, long before the emergence of the Inca culture. But what the scientist saw captivated his imagination to the core. The skulls possessed an incredibly elongated shape, radically different from the skulls of modern humans, and even from the skulls of other ancient peoples. Julio Tello dedicated his entire life to studying the history of Peru. He was a passionate researcher, and his discovery was a true challenge for him. He hypothesized that these skulls belonged to people from a special, previously unknown culture, and that the unusual shape of the skulls was a result of intentional deformation performed from early childhood. The scientific community embraced Tello's theory, but the reasons ancient people deformed their skulls remained a mystery. Just how extreme was this deformation? This question initiated decades of painstaking research. Since then, the Paracas skulls became a point of contention, a subject of heated debate and intense scrutiny. Numerous analyses were conducted, including radiography, computed tomography, and even DNA analysis. The results of these investigations were ambiguous, forcing scientists to repeatedly reevaluate their perspectives and propose ever-new hypotheses. It was initially believed that the elongated shape of the skulls was merely the result of artificial deformation, achieved by tightly binding a child's head from a very young age. This practice was widespread in various cultures around the world. The purpose of the deformation could have been a desire for aesthetic perfection, a demonstration of high social status, or belonging to a specific group. However, a more careful study of the Paracas skulls revealed unexpected features that cast doubt on this simple explanation. The first thing of note was the cranial capacity. Many of these skulls had a volume exceeding the cranial capacity of modern humans. This meant their brains were larger than ours. Another crucial feature was the structure of the skulls themselves. Certain Paracas skulls exhibited unusual bone structures not found in present-day humans. For instance, the shape of the parietal bone, responsible for forming the upper part of the skull, differed from the norm. It was distinctly different, standing out from the rest. This data sparked new theories. Some researchers proposed that the elongated shape of the Paracas skulls might be due not only to artificial deformation, but also to genetic factors. Perhaps these people belonged to a special race with unique physical characteristics, making them unlike anyone else. At the dawn of the 21st century, a team of researchers, led by Dr. Brian Forster, began conducting DNA analysis on the Paracas skulls. The results of this investigation proved to be shocking. The DNA extracted from the samples revealed significant differences when compared to the DNA of modern humans. Mutations, previously unseen in the human genome, were discovered. These mutations seemingly correlated with the skull's high degree of deformation, their increased size, and possibly other physical characteristics. It's worth noting, however, that the findings of this research have stirred up controversy within the scientific community. Some scientists expressed doubts about the data's validity, pointing to the possibility of DNA sample contamination during analysis. Others, conversely, believe that the DNA analysis results support the hypothesis that the Paracas skulls belong to a distinct, genetically different population. Historical evidence lends support to this theory. Ancient legends of the peoples of Peru and other South American countries mention beings with elongated skulls, endowed with extraordinary abilities and knowledge. These legends might have echoed real historical events, hinting at a mysterious civilization that left behind the Paracas skulls. But how does one explain the unusual shape of these skulls? If it wasn't simply artificial deformation, what factors could have influenced the skull shapes? Examining the remains revealed that the deformation most likely began at a very young age, perhaps soon after birth. This suggests that parents deliberately tried to alter the shape of their children's skulls. In some cultures, special devices were used for this purpose, like wooden boards or tight bandages. However, the role of genetic factors shouldn't be disregarded either. It's quite probable that the elongated skull shape was the result of a complex interplay of several factors: genetic predisposition, as well as deliberate deformation. Today, there are several main hypotheses explaining the origin of the mysterious Paracas skulls. The first of these is the hypothesis of artificial deformation. According to one hypothesis, the unusual elongated shape of the skulls resulted from intentional deformation, performed since childhood. This practice, as is well known, was widespread across various cultures worldwide, dating back to deep antiquity. The second hypothesis posits a genetic mutation. It suggests that the elongated skull shape stems from unknown genetic alterations, as if nature had decided to experiment, modifying the usual appearance. The third hypothesis concerns racial mixing. It states that the unusual skull shape is the result of the fusion of different human populations, giving rise to a new generation marked by peculiar physical characteristics. It was, so to speak, a blend of bloodlines, leaving a visible mark. The fourth hypothesis, perhaps the most mysterious, is the paleocontact hypothesis. It suggests that the elongated skulls are the result of ancient humans' contact with inhabitants of other worlds. This hypothesis rests on legends and traditions associated with the Paracas skulls, as well as, to put it mildly, the unusual physical characteristics of these skulls. But which of these hypotheses holds true? Alas, at this moment, there's no definitive answer. The studies of the Paracas skulls continue, and scientists, holding their breath, await new data that might perhaps lift the veil of mystery. The very place where the Paracas skulls were discovered is shrouded in secrecy. The Paracas Peninsula is a harsh, unforgiving place where the wind incessantly whips the sand, scouring away all that lives. Despite this, it was here, deep in the mists of the ages, that a developed culture flourished, leaving behind a multitude of artifacts and riddles that ignite the imagination. Archaeologists discovered on Paracas not only unusually shaped skulls, but also burials containing mummies, astonishing textile products, and other items that eloquently testify to the high level of development of this ancient civilization. The textile products found in the burial chambers are astounding in their quality and intricate patterns. They were crafted from the finest fibers, dyed in bright, saturated colors, and adorned with complex ornaments which one could examine for hours. These textile masterpieces are one of the most valuable sources of information about the Paracas culture. They offer a glimpse into the world of religious beliefs, allowing one to understand the social structures of the society and to learn about the daily lives of ancient people who lived here many centuries ago. The mummies discovered in the burial sites are also of immense interest to researchers. They've been preserved in excellent condition, thanks to the dry climate and the specific burial rituals observed by the ancients. Looking at them is like touching eternity, sensing the spirit of bygone eras. Studying the mummies reveals details about the physical characteristics of ancient people, their illnesses, and the treatment methods they used. The findings at Paracas suggest that the ancient culture that left behind these strange skulls was highly developed and had a complex social organization. The people of Paracas were skilled artisans, talented artists, and experienced builders. They knew how to create complex textile products, masterfully work with metals, and construct monumental structures that still boggle the imagination. However, despite years of painstaking research, much about the Paracas culture still remains a mystery. No one knows how this amazing culture originated, what its ethnic composition was, or what complex relationships it had with other cultures that flourished in those distant times. The most significant question remains unanswered. Why did these people deliberately deform their skulls? Scientists tirelessly continue their investigations, striving to find answers to these numerous questions. They place great hope in new discoveries and modern methods of analysis, which they believe will help unravel the mystery of the Paracas skulls and understand who these enigmatic people were, who lived in the Paracas Desert thousands of years ago. DNA research is one of the most promising ways to obtain valuable information about the origin of the mysterious Paracas skulls. DNA analysis is capable of shedding light on the genetic connection between the people whose skulls were discovered in Paracas and other peoples. It can also suggest whether these people were representatives of a separate race or a hybrid, arising from the mixing of different races. In the DNA analysis process, curious fragments were discovered that do not correspond to the known human genome. This may indicate that the people possessing the Paracas skulls had a different genetic nature than modern humans. It is quite possible that they were part of a previously unknown human population, lost in the depths of history. But how could this have happened? Could it be that these people were extraterrestrials from another planet, who left descendants on Earth? Or perhaps, were they the outcome of genetic experiments conducted by ancient civilizations whose knowledge vanished long ago? These questions still remain unanswered, yet the study of the Paracas skull's DNA continues. Scientists hope that in the future, they will be able to obtain more precise data to help them get closer to solving this captivating mystery, veiled by the passage of time. Another key area of research is the study of burials and artifacts connected to the enigmatic Paracas skulls. Archaeologists place great hope on the discovery of new items that could shed light on the Paracas culture and help understand its origins. For instance, inscriptions preserved on textile items and other artifacts are of particular interest. Deciphering these inscriptions could be the key to understanding the religious beliefs, social structures, and daily lives of the ancient people. The study of burial rites promises no less valuable information. Funeral rituals, as a rule, mirror a person's ideas about death and the afterlife. Furthermore, scientists are meticulously studying the connection between the Paracas skulls and other archaeological discoveries found in various corners of the world. It's possible that the Paracas skulls are merely a piece of a much larger puzzle, one connected to ancient civilizations and their interactions. Some researchers put forth daring theories, pointing to a possible link between the Paracas skulls and the Nazca culture, famed for its giant drawings, only visible from a bird's-eye view. Perhaps the Paracas and Nazca cultures intertwined, sharing common roots, opening new horizons for understanding the past. Other researchers speculate about a connection between the Paracas skulls and ancient civilizations that flourished in other parts of the globe, such as Egypt or Mesopotamia. Could there have been a global network in those distant times, uniting various ancient civilizations, a network for exchanging knowledge and technologies? What awaits us in the future? Will the mysteries of the Paracas skulls be solved? Will we find answers to all the questions they pose, gazing at us from the depths of the centuries? Undoubtedly, the research will continue. Archaeologists, geneticists, anthropologists, and representatives from other scientific disciplines will persistently strive to learn more about the enigmatic people who inhabited Paracas thousands of years ago. It is likely that in the future, new burials and artifacts will be discovered, capable of shedding light on the mystery of the Paracas skulls. It's not out of the question that advanced methods of analysis will be developed, allowing for more precise data to be obtained regarding the genetic nature of the people who possessed these unusual skulls. For now, we can only guess and construct the boldest of assumptions. The Paracas skulls will continue to stir the imagination of people all over the world. They remind us that history is full of riddles and mysteries that are yet to be solved. Like a whisper from bygone eras, they murmur of the existence of unknown civilizations, of knowledge lost forever. These mysterious skulls are like a mirror, reflecting our own curiosity and thirst for knowledge. They remind us that we, humans, are a part of something greater than we can imagine. They are witnesses to thousands of years, fragments of ancient cultures, holding within them echoes of long-gone days. And perhaps the most incredible answers await us ahead, beyond the truths we know. Buried deep within time, entombed in the sands of Paracas, within the very bones, lie the keys to understanding our past, to understanding who we are and where we came from. We must only continue the search, to explore, never fearing to ask questions, even the most uncomfortable ones. For it is in the pursuit of knowledge that the true strength of humanity is found, capable of lifting the veil over the mysteries of existence.